Hello students, welcome. In this video, I want to discuss about how to study physics for NEET examination. Most of the NEET aspirants, at least many of the NEET aspirants feel that physics is a tougher subject as compared to the other subjects. So definitely this video is going to be very useful for you. Please stick to it. It might be a bit longer, but definitely I'm sure that it will give you good value for you are watching. Okay, let's get into it. But before going to the details of it, please beware of quick fix solutions. I'm not here to give you any magic pill or any band-aid solutions here. Okay. I want to give you real solutions. I strongly believe these quick fix solutions are like gamble or otherwise lottery kind of thing. If you go to YouTube channels, right, you see that many videos I'd see, you just do that, you will get 180 out of 180. This is a magic formula that I'm going to give you to get you 180 marks out of 180. But in reality, that doesn't happen. But students, they just flock to those kind of videos to watch. So never good. These shortcut solutions will never be useful in the long run. Please remember that. Any true learning will take definitely a lot of time and a lot of effort, consistent effort. Please remember that. Having said that, but there are some smart strategies which can be applied to make you do much better. Okay, let's get into the details. First, what is NEET examination? First, you need to understand the exam mindset, exam pattern. Based on that, what kind of mindset is needed for the student? That's important. So you know that you have to solve 180 questions in 180 minutes. They give you 200. In that, you have to do 180 questions. 180 questions, 180 minutes, meaning where is the time for you to actually think and solve? The questions will not be based on your thinking ability or deep analysis and all that. It's just like you read the question, immediately you should get the idea and then solve it. So that's how the exam paper is. The exam pattern is like this. NEET pattern as such, I'm not very happy about it, but that's what it is. NTA decides, we have to follow about it. Over and above that, negative marking is also very big factor. So if you commit a mistake, you are being penalized. So whenever you are committed mistake and you are penalized, meaning where is the learning? I mean, that's a different part of it. But this exam, in examination, negative marking is there, meaning in order to crack this examination, you should focus on speed and accuracy. Speed and accuracy, it's like a race, 100-meter running race, right? It's not a long distance running in the examination. So just like that, it's a matter of understanding quick reflexes. You read the question, get the idea. That's all. There is nothing to think about it. It is very contrary to our IITJEE advanced examination, where you will be given lesser number of questions, probably 15, 16, 17 questions to solve in 1 hour, where you can analyze the question much in detail and have a thought process, deeper understanding and all. That's a different pattern. But if it is NEET examination, do it. Just read it and do it. Otherwise, leave it. So that's what it is. And also you need to focus on accuracy levels. When I talk to my son, he's studying 9th grade right now. He says in video games, right, there are some newbies, meaning newly joined guys. Those who know the rules of the game, they understand the game, they are very good at the game, but they are not very good in playing the game because they didn't get that kind of practice. Pros are the ones, they are very comfortable. They talk to others parallelly. They can do it very elegantly, effortlessly. So here, for you to crack NEET examination, you need to have this kind of a pro kind of mindset, where you will be getting that kind of muscle memory, where things can happen automatically kind of a thing. So that's the basic idea about NEET examination as such. Now let us go to NEET Physics examination. So whenever I talk to NEET students, right, me being a physics teacher, when I go to a NEET class, right, so I always feel that I'm not really wanted there. I'm forcefully placed in front of them because they have to crack the NEET examination. So the mindset of the student is like this. Physics is unwanted but necessary to qualify for the NEET exam. Physics is needed only to qualify for NEET examination. After that, I don't think I'll have any requirement. This is one kind of mindset students will have it. When you have that kind of mindset, where will you get the interest? Obviously. But how are you sure that it is not going to be useful at all in your future also? Because now things are changing a lot. Technology as such, if you see, there's tremendous growth in technology field. And that too, right now, the major trend would be how to synchronize technological developments into health sector. That is what is going to happen. So if you are a doctor, where you are really good in technology, probably you will have a better edge as compared to the other people. And every technology, believe me, the basis is the physics. So if you are good at physics, right, you can inherently understand any technological aspect of it. So that is one thing. The other thing is physics. I don't like physics. Still, I'm forced to study about it. Please students, you understand, you are not being forced to take NEET examination. You only decided to go for doctor profession. So if you have decided on that way, there is no force there. You only chose to become a doctor there. The moment you choose that, right, the remaining factors, whatever is needed, that has to be done. You want everything on your own, with your comfort, meaning that doesn't happen in real life. So you choose doctor, becoming doctor, meaning whatever is needed to become a doctor, you have to do it. That is one important thing. And your likings, generally students, these teenagers, they give a lot of importance for their likings. But please remember, your likings are very, very fickle, very fragile. Generally, students tend to change their likings every once in a month, every once in a week. So whatever you have been liking when you are maybe 10 years old, probably 12-year-old, I'm sure you will not be liking now. You might feel that they are very boring or some kind of a thing. So please don't give too much importance to your liking. Likings will change, but the profession cannot change. You can't choose your profession based on your present likings. So best thing is you start liking physics. And there is a psychological research which says that if you really commit yourself to do anything, right, you can like anything. Even the pain you can like. There are some psychological studies about it. So please commit yourself to start liking physics. Automatically, you will be able to do much better. So another point they say, I'm not good enough in physics today, and so I'll never be good enough. This is a logical fallacy. It doesn't count. I mean, it doesn't good well. Okay. Just because you are not good in now, you will never be good at it. It's not a correct conclusion to come out it. If you have that kind of mindset, right, you are considered to be fixed mindset person. You should not have a fixed mindset. You should have a growth mindset. Growth mindset people think I can always learn. I can always become better. If I put effort, I can definitely become better in anything. Whatever I want, I can learn. Just that I need to give sufficient time and also give sufficient effort into it. That's all. If you have this kind of mindset, right, please understand whatever the profession you are going, then you will not be able to succeed well. So please remove this kind of mindset. I'm not good now, meaning you will never be good in that. That is not a good idea. I'm not good now. Okay, I agree. I accept that. But I can become better by learning. So that kind of mindset is called growth mindset. Please understand that. The next point is, I'm scared of physics because I cannot figure out how to solve a problem. So technically speaking, when will you be scared? When you see a danger or a potential danger, you will feel scared. You will feel fear. But what is there to fear about physics? Physics is not dangerous. It is not going to kill you. In fact, physics is your savior, in fact, if you observe very carefully. You see biology, out of 25 lakh students who are appearing for NEET examination, at least 10 lakh people will say that they are confident in biology. So biology, if you are good, many students are also good, you are equalizer. So biology examination marks are, right, they are like equalizer. That does not give you seat. See, the NTA examination, NTA conducts examination, they are not based on your performance in a particular subject. They decide based on how they can eliminate people. They will eliminate based on the score as a whole. So biology, if you are good, many students are also good, you will not get the advantage over there. Many students are not so good in physics and you are good there, so you will have a chance to get qualified. So that's how you need to look at it. Physics is a rank producing subject, whereas biology is an equalizer subject. This is a differentiating subject, physics. Please think in that direction. If you have a positive mindset, automatically you'll be able to think much better. Okay. So having said that, how to prepare physics? See, please understand physics is not difficult. It is slightly different from other subjects. Obviously, different things require different kind of approach to do that, right? You can't have one thing fit all for every kind of solutions, right? So that's how it is even in physics also. In general, this is the learning cycle. This is a learning cycle. Please understand that anything you read or learn or attend a lecture, all right, first you need to learn. After that, you will be applying it. Probably you practice it. Then after practicing it, you analyze it, see what went wrong, what went right, why it went like that, you analyze it. And after that, you reflect. So based on that, you come to certain conclusions. Then after reflecting, you reread or re-attend the lecture, and then again go for applying or practicing. And this is a cycle. This is called learning cycle. Any subject or any skill for that matter, you need to have this kind of a cycle there. This is one single loop learning cycle, we call it as. Then how is it physics different? Only in this area, physics is different. Remaining thing, physics also follows the same loop. Only in applying practice, right, there is a difference between other subjects and this subject. Whereas in biology, you practice, but you practice theoretical questions, right? A statement-based questions, assertion reasoning questions. That is what you study in botany, zoology. Chemistry also at least two-thirds, probably more than that. You will have theoretical questions. But when it comes to physics, you will have numerical questions, logical based questions. Those who are very good in physics, generally, they tend to be much better in solving even biology assertion reasoning questions also, because they will be tending to have better logical faculties developed. So this is the only thing. If you can do this particular thing, right, physics is also as good as any other thing, just that numericals you need to practice and logical things you need to focus on when you study physics. That's the only thing. Okay, so I would like to have a doctor who has got better logical reasoning. I don't want to have a doctor to do a surgery on me when I become ill, who doesn't know, who doesn't have that logical faculty developed well, only memory based, right? It may not make you a good doctor. You may become a doctor, you may not become an excellent doctor if you don't have the other faculty developed properly. Please understand that. Okay. How about physics? Is it memory based? You know, biology mostly memory based. Majority part is memory based. In chemistry also, if you look at it, inorganic chemistry also memory based, very similar to biology. Organic chemistry also, as far as NEET exam is concerned, it largely memory based. Little bit logic, yes, some reaction mechanisms and all there, but mostly it is also memory based. Physical chemistry, a little bit numericals. Of course, in NEET examination, even in physical chemistry also, they give very little number of numericals. So in physics, of course, numerical. Is physics memory based or not? Please understand, everything is memory based only. Some people say physics does not require memory. That is wrong. Everything is requiring memory, right? Even your body is made out of genetic memory. So without memory, nothing works in real world. So in physics also, you require memory, but what to memorize, that is important. If you closely observe any physics teacher, right? Any physics teacher that you are fond of or you are really aspiring to become like one in that particular subject, right? Please see that they'll be very good at doing the derivations part of it. Any formula you give, they'll be able to derive it. So if you memorize derivations, you will be a pro in physics. So don't memorize the formula. Generally, students tend to do that mistake, memorizing the formula. Don't memorize the formula, you memorize the derivation. Maybe 2-3 times you do it in such a way that you are comfortable with the entire derivation. So derivation is one thing you need to work on. After that, you need to focus on logic. Memorize logic. For every concept, there is a logic. Memorize logic. Don't memorize the formula. And then you memorize the meaning. For any relation that you have, there are certain symbols we use. For each symbol, there is a meaning to it. So for example, if I say V equal to IR, there V is not velocity, it is potential, not volume. If I go for rho equal to M by V, there V is volume. Okay. Just because I use the same symbol does not mean it is the same thing. So you need to understand the meaning of the symbols, meaning of every statement that you are giving. There is a law that they give. In that law, every word, what is the meaning of it? So without understanding the meaning, you can't do it. So memorize the meaning, memorize the logic, memorize the derivation. Don't memorize the formula. And memorize the conditions. For every formula we use in physics, right, there is conditions. Without conditions, you can't apply the formula. The moment you change the conditions, you will have to use some other formula. For example, if you go for Newton's law, in inertial frame, you use formula F equal to ma. But when the moment you go for rotating frame of reference or non-inertial frame of reference, F equal to ma does not work, because you need to apply pseudo force, or otherwise that rotational corrections, you will have to use it. So for every formula that you use in physics, generally there are conditions. So memorize the conditions, memorize the derivation. This is what you are supposed to memorize. You can do it. You have a very good memory. In biology, you do memorize a lot. But in physics, you will not use it, because you think that by just memorizing the formula, you will be able to do physics. Please focus on memorizing these things. You will be able to do very well in physics examination, I'll guarantee you. And what about the formula? Ideally speaking, you are not supposed to memorize the formula. I don't memorize the formula, but still I can remember it because I apply it so many times. If you memorize the formula only by rote, definitely it is not going to be useful. If at all, it is going to produce you negative marking in the examination. So you will remember the formula not by memorizing it, but using it. Apply it so many times. Every formula, if you apply it 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, 50 times in various problems, right? Automatically you will remember it. Remember the derivations. Remember solve a lot of problems so that you can remember the formula. That's all. That is all about physics. Any chapter you take it, that's all. As far as NEET examination is concerned, you crack the code. So please understand that it is very simple, but you need to have that kind of mindset. Okay, next. Having said that, what is the mindset that we need to have? We need to have a study plan. Generally, if you can have a daily plan, it is much better. But again, students will have different constraints, different conditions. We don't know how they are. Right? Some are attending online classes, some are attending offline classes, and various parameters also might be affecting. So I generally give weekly plan. Whatever you do, wherever you are studying, whatever program you are following, weekly you should be able to spend 25 hours of time for physics. 25 hours per week you need to somehow you need to keep it. And in the 25 hours, right, you should be able to solve 200 questions ideally, at least 120, 130 minimum, 120, 130. If you can solve, it is good. 200 questions, if you are able to solve many, you are doing really good. So you need to select the questions in such a way that you'll be able to solve 200 questions. If you are not able to solve that many questions, meaning the questions are too tough, reduce the difficulty level, but solve 200 questions. Difficulty level is not important, but number is important. If you feel that you are able to solve so many questions very easily, then increase the difficulty level. Make it 200 questions. If you are able to solve 200 questions per week, right, it will give you very good practice for you. And just practicing worksheets will not be enough. You will have to do the practice tests also. In practice test, right, there is a regular program where the syllabus is being completed. There at least one test per week you need to write. Once you go for revision program, then obviously you will have to give more exams, probably 2 to 3 examinations per week. If you give, then you will have a good practice. So that is important here. So you will have to complete the syllabus by end of December at any cost. After that revision, you plan twice. If you revise it, it is going to help you. Please understand, physics will take time in the initial times. Initially, you need to spend a lot of time on physics compared to other subjects, right? I recommend that you spend little more time, probably half an hour to 1 hour extra in physics, initial stages. But in the final stages, I don't think you will have to spend that much time because you will have so much of time to spend on biology and chemistry memorizing. Physics will not have that kind of memorizing in the end. Initially, you spend more time in physics so that you can save a lot of time in the end phase of your preparation. That should be your plan. Right. Then in physics, right? So generally biology, those who opt for MBBS, right, BPC for example, some students, they feel that they are not good in mathematics, or they are scared of mathematics, or they don't like mathematics in 10th class. That's why they went to 11th with biology as a mainstream there. That is one thing. But remember, physics requires a lot of mathematics. You should be really good at basic mathematics. I hope this is visible for you. Basic mathematics is very, very essential for you. And when I say basic mathematics, these are the things, right? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. This is the most important thing. I saw in last a couple of days ago, the 2024 exam NEET paper, I tried to solve it. All simple calculations only. Students left this because of the calculations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. You have to be really very good at calculating things. Lengthy calculations, you should be able to do it. You should enjoy it also doing it. A rounding of calculations, that is a very important aspect. But in NEET examination, right, most of the times you need not do exact calculation, rounding up. And we give a lot of emphasis in our coaching classes, right, on how to do rounding calculations, very important. Solving linear equations is very essential. Like in 10th class, you have two variable, two equations, two linear equations to solve. Like that you have, because in Newton's laws, you will have to use entire mechanics will be formulating linear equations and then solving either conservation principles or Newton's laws or work energy theorem or impulse momentum theorem, whatever it is. So solving linear equations is a very important aspect for us. A lot of questions will come on that. Handling the fractions and percentages. Handling fractions is a very essential thing, but some students, I feel that they have that problem of rationalizing and taking the LCM, right? How to add two fractions, how to subtract fractions, multiply, division fractions. If you're not comfortable there, definitely you will be facing a lot of difficulty. And of course, arithmetic progression and geometric progression is very important. In 10th class, it is there. All that I'm discussing here, they are 10th class syllabus. Exponentials, quadratic equations, conversion of units. Conversion of units is a very important topic for you because they give CGS unit, you have to convert into SI unit or vice versa. So that is also very essential. It is not a big deal, but you will neglect it generally. Students tend to neglect this. That is why they will be facing. So you take it down head on. In our coaching, we have a separate program for this. In the initial stages, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we'll give a lot of preparation as a second track in physics. After that, you have extra mathematics, which is like little more, maybe basic trigonometry and basics of calculus and graphs. This is important, but much more than that, this is much more important for you. If you are able to do this also, you are a pro in physics, all right? But this is something everybody has to be very, very good at in terms of this, so that you can be able to do much better in physics problems, right? Okay, after that, how to study physics as such. Physics, the topics are very much linked type. We segregate them into clusters. Clusters meaning in groups. If you study them in clusters, right, you will be able to understand much better. So the clusters, I'll just mention it. First cluster is this: units and measurement, kinematics, 1D, 2D, Newton's laws, work per energy. You see, this is given in darker color, dark blue color, meaning every examination you have that question. One question coming from that chapter. This is like sometimes they are giving, sometimes they are not giving, but units and dimensions, every exam they are giving questions. And if you want to study this, right, you have to study in that order only. You can't go any other order. First kinematics 1D should be completed, then 2D, then Newton's laws and work for energy, and so on. You can't go another way around. And the next cluster is this: system of particles and rotation mechanics. You see, both of them are dark in color, meaning every exam you will have questions coming from here. Very, very important topics. And then you have this cluster: thermal properties of matter, KTG, heat, and thermodynamics. These also must be studied in this order only. You can't change the order. Then comes a simple harmonic motion and mechanical waves. This is another cluster. You see here, you don't have a dark colored chapter. What does that mean? It's not necessary that every year you will get a question, but most of the times you will get questions here in this. And then the next cluster is this very, very important: current, electricity, magnetism 1 and 2, EMI, AC, EM waves. Lot of questions come here. About 4 to 5 questions will come most of the times in this, probably more also sometimes. Very important cluster. These are the clusters we have. In these clusters, you see, order is important. You can study this separately. 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 Without studying this, a repeater student can study this alone separately. But when you are studying this, you have to go in this particular order. Without studying these, you can study this alone separately, but they have to be studied in order. So anyway, I have a PDF link given below in the description. You can download it later, but I'm just mentioning it, these things here. Then you have, see, blue color. Blue color meaning these topics you can study any order: gravitation, electrostatics. Electrostatics, I think visibility is not that much. Gravitation and electrostatics, you can study any order. First gravitation, then electrostatics, or first electrostatics or gravitation you can study, because both of them related to field concept and potential concept. So that way you can study. You see, electrostatics is very important because every year you see that there is a question coming from here. Fluid mechanics, elastic properties, these are all physical properties. You can study any order. It doesn't mean that you should study only in this particular. First, you can study viscosity, then fluid mechanics, then elasticity. This year, they had given one question from elasticity. Like that, you have ray optics and wave optics. That is another cluster. Separately, you can study that: ray optics and wave optics. This is another cluster, very important there. Current, electricity, magnetism 1 and 2, and that anyway I have discussed about it. Then that is another cluster. So totally you have 9 clusters here. These 9 clusters, you see, some clusters are gray color, some clusters are blue in color. Blue color clusters can be studied in any order, right? This is modern physics, very important topic. You see, every topic is dark color, meaning every topic is important there. Every topic you will get at least one question from every examination. So this is the overall syllabus you have. You can study that in this particular order. It will help you to simplify it and link them together. That is one thing that I want to do. Anyway, I'll give you a PDF link. You can just download it and go through this particular slide. Then what books to follow? I don't recommend you to solve so many books and all that, because that's not the importance of this particular exam, NEET examination. It's more of a repetition, doing it again and again, over and over again. So you do minimum number of books, all right? And then try to do them repeatedly. That is enough. First book is anyway NCERT textbook. You need to go. NCERT solved examples are very important, and that points to ponder is very, very important. Also, some exercise questions, selected questions. If a teacher is helping you, definitely they'll be able to select that kind of questions. That is first book. The second book is study module. They're studying any coaching center or anywhere, right? They'll give you a module or study material. So you can go through that. If you are not going for any coaching, right, you can take one practice book. The practice book generally we suggest is that if you are not so good in physics, go for GC Agarwal because you have easier questions, many questions. If you are okay, comfortable in physics, then you can go for DC Pandey, NEET paper. There the questions are lesser number, but each question is slightly a little higher level. So that way you can take one book, and then you can go for PYQ, previous year books. Previous year mostly NEET book questions are enough, but nowadays, if you go through previous year mains questions also, that too theoretical based questions, of course, there the teacher will have to help you what questions to follow, because this year, many questions, similar kind of questions, they came from previous JEE mains theoretical questions. So these are the books you need to have. Don't break your head by going through so many books. These books will not be helpful, because if you go into the books, right, you will be totally confused. There is so much of sources available everywhere. Now the source is not important here. Content is everywhere. It is very much available. But the quality of content and the correct usage of content, that is very important here. So here the teacher with experience will have to guide you what to study and what not to study, most importantly. But remember, repetition is the key. Please focus on your repetition part of it. Having said all this, right, finally, motivation will give you an initial kickstart. That's all. It is not going to help you to the entire journey there. Unless otherwise you have that inherent ability to push yourself. That comes by making them habit. So because motivation is required definitely to start, but that is not enough you to complete the journey for 1 year. Please make whatever you are doing as a habit. Daily routine habit is very, very important for you. So make it as a habit and try to work on it. That is very important for you. And finally, 3 golden rules. Whatever I told so far, if you understood, it is good. You keep that aside. Just 3 golden rules. If you follow that, definitely you'll be able to do much better. First rule: whatever teacher you are following, follow the teacher blindly. Don't question it. Don't change the teacher. So any teacher who was reasonably experienced, you first itself you select them. After that, don't change the teacher in between, because that is very, very bad, because you will be totally confused. Please follow the teacher. If you don't believe in the teacher, it's very difficult for you to succeed in NEET examination, right? Please follow the teacher blindly. Just religiously follow whatever suggestions he is giving. The next one is target-based preparation. Target-based preparation. Whatever preparation you are doing, it has to be time-bound, because time is very essential. There is so much to cover. All right. Make sure that you have time for everything, and then accordingly you follow. The teacher will have to suggest you, help you in that particular aspect. And then finally, you need to eliminate your distractions. Distractions is the biggest enemy for this generation of teenagers, because in your hand through which you are watching this video, whether it is mobile phone, tab or laptop, whatever it is. So definitely it is very powerful tool in providing you good knowledge in any aspect. Click up the button, you can get everything, but at the same time, it can be a two-edged sword. It can also be really distracting. So if you really want to succeed in NEET examination, you should not try to minimize distraction. You should eliminate the distraction. You please simply sign out of all the social media accounts. Nothing to discuss about it. Any social media, Twitter, whatever, right? Instagram, all those channels, whatever accounts you have, please deactivate for 1 year. Come out of it. Nothing will be happening. You will not miss anything. You will be able to do much quality work in your total 1 year period. Please make sure these 3 things, these are the golden rules. There is nothing exceptions or deviation to it. If you follow this, definitely you'll be able to do much better. So I hope you got reasonable information. I wish you all the best for your preparation. May God be with you throughout your preparation for 1 year. And there will be ups and downs in this 1 year when you are going through, but you have to control that. Make sure that every day you are following this consistently. Definitely you're going to get great success for your exam, for your preparation. All right. If you have any more suggestions, any more points to discuss with us, right, you can contact us through this number. We'll be very happy to give you all the suggestions and all. Of course, we are also having our batch running in the first week of June, right? This repeaters batch. If you are interested, you can get the information about that as well. So with that, I'll conclude here. Thank you very much. Until next time, goodbye.